What are the first organisms in a food chain? Producers, also known as autotrophs, comprise the first level in a food chain. What is the difference between the food chain and the food web? A food chain follows a single path, where animals discover food. But a food web shows different paths, where plants and animals are connected. A food web comprises several food chains. In a food chain, an organism eats a single item, whereas in a food web an organism consumes multiple items. In a food chain, there is a singular path for energy flow, and in a food web, there are different paths for energy flow. What role do humans play in a food chain? The role of humans in the food chain varies depending on what the human consumes as food. If humans consume only plants, they are known as primary consumers. If the human eats an organism that consumes plants, the human is known as a secondary consumer, and so on. So they are referred to as omnivores. What are animals called in a food chain? Animals are known as consumers in a food chain because they eat other plants and animals. What do food chains end with? A food chain begins with producers who make food, continues with consumers who eat the food, and ends with the topmost predator.
I've been dreaming on in my head like I've seen it. A life worth living is a life with meaning. I'll do what I love till my heart stops beating. I'm feeding this demon.